Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to Generation Z Gadgets, and for this video we're going to be talking about something that's actually quite interesting, and I pretty much say that in every single video, but I really mean it today. And what I mean is that I'm going to have one of the most comprehensive buyer's guides I've ever done on this channel, which is pretty ambitious thing to say because I've done a lot of extensive buyer's guides on this channel, but I can say with pretty much certainty that this is probably the most in-depth buyer's guide I will ever do in this channel, or at least that I have ever done. So basically, in today's age, we know that Samsung makes some of the most popular and advanced smart televisions out there, and they're bought by a lot of people, by a lot of companies, by a lot of schools. You see them everywhere, all over the world. And one of their most popular lines of TVs is their QLED line of TVs, which are also known as quantum dot LED TVs. And QLED is basically a technology that contains 28 different types of models on Samsung's TV lineup. This is Samsung's flagship TV display technology. So this is the best you can buy for money from Samsung's website. And basically one of the biggest things about QLED is the whole debate over how it stacks up compared to OLED. So OLED or OLED is the other display technology which Samsung does utilize in a lot of their products, such as their smartphones, but they tend to like using QLED more in their TVs. So basically what a QLED display is it's an LCD display with quantum dots, and it relies on an LED backlight, and it adds an extra quantum dot film layer to the LCD panels that are already in place. OLED, on the other hand, is very different from LCD or QLED, and I'm not going to be talking about this too much, but I just want you guys to understand the difference. It is emissive, which means that with every individual pixel, it emits a single light. This is why for a lot of smartphones at Samsung, you can actually have things such as an always-on display where only the individual pixels that are needed will light up and the rest of the pixels on the display will remain inactive. So you're able to conserve a lot of battery that way, but also have part of the screen on. And with LCD, you can't do this. And there's a lot of other drawbacks to LCD, and in general, I do feel like OLED is probably the way to go. It's probably the future of display technology, but there are certain benefits to QLED. For example, although OLED technology is generally more advanced than LCD technology, LCD displays usually have a longer lifespan. OLED displays have this problem sometimes where they actually sort of have something called what's called burnout, and basically after a few years or even just a year or a couple months of use, depending on the product, you can actually have the display start to burn out, and basically it won't shine as brightly, the colors won't look as good, it'll just start to overall deteriorate in quality. And this is something that is still a problem with OLED technology, and it will continue to be for at least another few years. And I'm excited to see how they get over this obstacle, because once OLED technology overcomes this obstacle of burnout, it's really going to be in almost every way better than LCD technology. So there are 4K and 8K display options for Samsung QLED TVs, and they range from 43 inches to 98 inches on the diagonal. And we're going to be discussing pretty much every single variant. This video is meant to help you determine the best TV from Samsung's expansive lineup of QLED TVs and which one you think you should buy. First of all, some unique features. This is important to discuss because it's important for you to know as a consumer specifically why you should be interested in QLED lines of TVs. So two of the biggest features of Samsung's QLED TV lineup is number one, Bixby Voice Assistant, which basically allows you to do things such as flip through channels, ask about the weather, get movie and TV show trivia, such as actors' names, etc. You can also check a link in the description that I have for a much longer list of some of the other things you can do on Samsung TVs, but those are some of the main ones. And I understand that there might be certain alternative equivalents on other platforms, but Bixby is very advanced, and having that technology with your TV is something that I think is pretty meaningful for a lot of people. So the other unique feature that comes to mind is called ambient mode, and this is something that's not offered, as far as I'm concerned, on any other platform currently. And basically ambient mode allows the TV to blend in with its surrounding environment. You can feature art, today's news headlines, room decor, and much more. So we'll be discussing ambient mode a lot more later in this video, but that's basically just a rundown quickly of why QLED TVs. Why are we specifically interested in this Samsung TV? There are 5 main variants of Samsung QLED TVs. It's summed up pretty well on Samsung's website, but I'm actually going to sum it up even better in this video. So get excited, get hyped, it's time to go. So there's one 8K variant and 4 4K variants. And I'll go through each of the features to help you understand what it is and why it might be useful in your TV viewing experience. So first of all, they're all flat screen. That's a disclaimer. I know a lot of people, including myself, really prefer curved displays, and you can actually look at Samsung's OLED TV lineup. They have a separate curved TV lineup that includes a lot of models with curved displays. LCD displays, which are used for QLED TVs, do not have curved displays because LCD panels cannot curve the same way OLED panels can. So if you're interested in curved displays, this video is not for you. So all of these QLED TVs are flat screen. So all Samsung TVs come standard with the following features, and there's a lot, so get prepared. First of all, it has 1 billion plus colors. So it's powered by quantum dot technology, and it has a very wide range of colors expressed, different shades of each color expressed, and overall it's a really sharp quality, good looking, colorful image, and there's really nothing to complain about with Samsung TVs. Samsung holds themselves to a certain standard when it comes to display quality, and you're definitely going to see that quality shine through with any variant you get of the QLED lineup. Next is a quantum processor 4K, which is made specifically to output 4K content. So even though some of the displays, like I said, support 8K content, every single TV does support 4K content. So you do not need to worry at all about sort of the optimization of 4K content on your QLED TV. It's gonna look stunning because there's a specific processor made to process the 4K graphical demands for your TV. Also, ambient mode comes standard across the QLED lineup. I can't speak for other TVs out there, but ambient mode does come standard, and this is actually a really useful feature that I think a lot of people will appreciate if they buy this TV. Also, HDR and 4K displays, or at least I should say 4K resolution, maybe even higher resolution, is offered standard across the board for Samsung TVs. There's also something called automatic adaptation, which is basically the TV adapts to the lighting conditions and the shape of the room, and basically it adjusts the brightness and the sound level accordingly. I'm not sure how noticeable this is. This sort of feels to me something along the lines of True Tone from Apple, and basically what that is, it adjusts the warmth or coldness of the display temperature according to the surrounding ambience of the iPhone. It's probably one of those things that you won't really realize until the feature is missing, and it's probably, I mean, it can only help your experience honestly, and I'm sure you can turn it off manually in settings. There's also something called One Remote, which comes standard, and basically One Remote is a universal remote that controls everything from the TV. I know the sort of age of having multiple remotes for one television is sort of passing as smart TVs are becoming more and more mainstream and popular, but it's still good to note that one remote, one universal remote will control all aspects of the TV. That's really comforting to know coming from Samsung. Another feature that comes standard is Bixby. Bixby does come standard on every single TV. Again, that's another unique feature, like I said before, that might not exist on other platforms. It also comes standard with Apple TV compatibility, and for many this is a feature that is really meaningful because Apple TV is one of the biggest video streaming boxes out there, along with Google Chromecast and Roku streaming stick. I made a video on that a long time ago, which you can click on over there. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I really recommend considering buying a QLED TV or just a Samsung TV in general. It comes standard with Apple TV compatibility. It also comes standard with smart home support, which is a big element if you have a lot of smart home appliances. It's a really big element for your TV to be able to have that feature. It supports Amazon Alexa, Echo, Google Assistant, and AirPlay 2. It also comes standard with deep blacks with the Real Game Enhancer, which offers better visibility in the dark, enhanced images with deeper blacks and deeper whites, and enhanced sound quality. There's also something called FreeSync, and basically FreeSync reduces the lag in gaming. So also the ambient mode, just to elaborate a little bit more on that, offers several settings. So you can either have it display decor to match the room it's in, or even it can blend in. There's some crazy things it can do to blend in with your environment just by using a picture of the wall. It is crazy. And I don't really know why you'd want to make the TV blend in like that, but it does look pretty cool, I have to say. There's also stuff like the information, the time or date that can be displayed on the TV, which is sort of nice. It also comes with photographs, so you can put your own photos on there or use stock photos or the included photos from Samsung's gallery. And finally, it can display art, and I don't know how expansive the art library is, but it's definitely something I can see being really expansive in Samsung's gallery. So now we're gonna go cheapest to most expensive across the QLED TV lineup. So we're gonna start with the cheapest model and work our way up, and basically you can decide as I'm explaining the models to you which model you think is best for you, and I'll offer you my opinion at the end of the video, but of course the decision is up to you, and I'll give you the freedom to choose in the description below. But first we have the cheapest model, the Q60R QLED display, QLED TV. It starts at $649 for 43-inch on the diagonal display, and it goes up to an 82-inch display at a price of $2,800. It does have a 4K display, which is already more than enough for most people. There's a bird outside on the window. Very cool. It's not something you see in the city very often. Next we have the Q70R QLED TV, which starts at $999, which is still a very reasonable price at 49 inches on the diagonal display, and it goes up to a whopping $4,799, but that's for a much bigger display at 85 inches, and again it does have a 4K display. Moving on, we have the Q80R QLED TV, which starts at $1,599 for a 55-inch display, and it goes up to a whopping $4,499, which is actually slightly less, but that's for a slightly smaller display size at 82 inches. Next, we have the Q90R QLED TV, and this starts at $2,799 for a 65-inch display and goes up to $5,499 for 82 inches. And again, it is a 4K display. And finally, we have the Q900R QLED TV, and this is the flagship model for the QLED TV lineup from Samsung. It starts at $3,499 for a 55-inch display and goes up to $69,999, essentially $70,000 for a 98-inch display. And this is an 8K display, so it can output not only 4K content, not only 6K content, not only 5K content. I've never heard of 7K, but I guess it can output 7K content. It can also output 8K content. So for, I guess, the few YouTubers out there who do shoot in 8K or 10K, well, not 10K, but the YouTubers who shoot in 8K, the footage will look really good on an 8K display. So I'll have links in the description below to all the specs, because I cannot possibly mention that in this video. But I'll have links in the description below to all the specs of Samsung's QLED TVs, and I have this really cool chart I made comparing all the different display sizes and respective prices and the features that are offered in each of them. So I'll just go really quickly through it. The Q60R comes with all the base features that come standard that I mentioned earlier on every QLED Samsung TV. You also have on the Q70R the introduction of the home gallery, which is basically a feature that allows it to display various artworks and stuff like that, images that sort of blend in with your home setting. It also comes with a technology called Direct Full Array, which is updated actually in more advanced forms throughout the lineup, but the feature debuts on the Q70R and basically increases the contrast of the display. You also have QHDR 1000, so a slightly bumped up version of the HDR technology offered on the Q60R. On the Q80R, you have further enhanced blacks and whites and an updated QHDR 12X. And the Q90R, you have Direct Full Array 16X, which is a more advanced version of what the Q70R introduced. You also have Ultra Viewing Angle, which is reduced glare and enhanced color. You finally have the QHDR 16X, which is sort of the same thing as the previous models, but with more advanced HDR capabilities. And finally, the Q900R comes with one invisible connection, I believe. And basically this is just a single cord running down the TV as opposed to having multiple cords coming out. The connections on the other TVs aren't by any means bad and or complicated at all, but there's one invisible connection guarantees that it's going to be one single strip running down the TV that literally outputs everything from power, HDMI, etc. Also comes with a no gap wall mount, which is essentially a wall mount you can put that will give the illusion that the TV is floating. And it's a really cool wall mount. Very little space in between the back of the TV and the wall. So if you're into floating TV aesthetic, I definitely recommend looking into that feature. Although overall, I'd say for the average consumer, the Q60 QLED TV seems like more than enough for anybody. I would recommend getting the 55-inch or the 65-inch variants, as that is a reasonable price and display size for a TV. The 75-inch on the Q60R for the people who want a little bit bigger of a display is really good too. I honestly think 55 inches, 65 inches is more than enough for a TV. I understand maybe 43 is not really enough at this age. I remember I had a 45-inch TV from Sony starting in 2005 or 6 or something like that. So I understand that TV displays are getting much bigger. So 75-inch should be more than enough for you. If you're an avid watcher, however, the 85-inch on the Q70R is a great option. And the reason I say specifically the Q70R is because it's the cheapest TV at such a large display size. So it's actually one of the only TVs that's priced so lowly that actually offers that 85-inch option, which the Q80R and the Q90R do not offer. So I would really recommend probably the Q70R or the Q60R for most people, for the average consumer. If you have the money, definitely I would recommend getting the Q90R, which I think offers some of the most unique features out of all of them. I would stay away from the Q80R and probably the Q900R, as those are two TV variants that I think are really not worth your money, even if you have the money to spend. The Q80R just seems like it's that awkward in-betweener that doesn't really know whether it's supposed to be a budget level gadget or if it wants to be something more high-end. It's sort of stuck in that in-between. It's sort of not a good combination of either one. And the Q900R, it just, 8K content is not really here yet. Maybe if you want to future-proof your TV, but honestly, I think 4K content is really sufficient in this day and age, and definitely will be for at least in the next 10 years or so. HD has been a big thing for almost 20 years, and even now it's considered really good. I mean, I shoot in HD and no one says anything. I would stay away from the Q80R and Q900R. For most people, also the Q90R I would stay away from. The feature set offered on those three variants is really not worth it for most people. 8K is overkill, and despite how well Samsung markets it, it's not optimized for most content out there. And actually, a cool interesting fact I wanted to mention is that standard movie screens are only about 6 times bigger than the 98-inch variant of QLED lineup. And 98 inches, it's actually a lot. It might not seem like a lot, but it is a huge TV. Downstairs, I have a 72-inch Samsung curved OLED TV, and that is already massive. That is more than enough for what I need. Most people do not need a 98-inch display, but basically what I meant by that is that only 6 times bigger than the actual standard movie screen. That is crazy. That you're gonna get an immersive, crazy good experience if you get a 98-inch Samsung QLED TV. I just don't think it's worth it for your money. I mean, the thing costs $70,000. So Samsung also is rumored to be working or have already been contracted by several big name movie theaters, possibly AMC. I hope AMC, because I love AMC theaters. Basically, they've been contracted to replace the old cinema projector panels with brand new Samsung LED TVs, and that is really exciting, honestly. The fact that Samsung, which is a huge mobile tech company, is starting to branch out into bigger, more mainstream. I mean, Samsung TVs are already mainstream, but The fact that it's starting to be contracted by movie theaters shows that the tech market is really pushing in the more mainstream direction. So hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, this video took me a really long time, so I'd really appreciate it if you left a thumbs up on this video and subscribed. I do want to mention really quickly, I know my previous video, it might have been a little clickbaity. It's been doing really well in views recently, so I feel a little bad personally. And a couple of people have commented that it's not really quote unquote a real truth because I'm not really saying anything that people didn't know already. The series, like I said, is about basically just understanding to the best of their ability what the topic is. And I think I provided a very in-depth explanation video of what SpaceX really is. And while you may not have learned anything new and radical from it, there's definitely something you learn from it. And the whole point of the video is it's for educational purposes. I just like to call the truth about. And if you guys don't really like me to call the videos by that title, make sure to leave a comment below and let me know, and I'd be happy to change it. But yeah guys, I just wanted to address that, and I'll be back next week with more videos. It's time for the weekend. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. And by the way, if you wonder where I am in Korea right now. That's why I'm in this new area. And I'm actually thinking maybe I want to make some videos outside. I mean, I have a really nice balcony out there that I might want to make videos on. It's really quiet and really chill and nice. And I'm thinking maybe I might want to make videos there. Let me know in the comments below. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I'd appreciate if you left me a like and subscribe, and comment below what you want to see next on the next episode of Should You Buy. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And as always, I'll see you in the next video next week.